Hey guys, it's Kelly and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a super exciting 5-passenger SUV, and that is a 2023 Toyota RAV4 XSE Hybrid. Okay, RAV4, kind of done a lot lately. In 2019 they had a body style change. In 2023 they had some interior upgrades, and now they're available in quite a few different powertrains, including the RAV4 Prime, which is their plug-in hybrid that gives you some all-electric range. That is not the hybrid I have today. I even said their active hybrid, which will work with the engine to give you optimal fuel economy. You're looking at 40 miles per gallon combined on this model. But what I want to know is, how family friendly is this small SUV? Let's find out. Okay guys, so this is the XSE trim, and we are looking at an MSRP of about $43,000 on this vehicle. So we're gonna have to see what all that gets you. But first, let's start with the exterior. So like I said, redesign came in 2019 and people love this car. I love the looks of this car. It's giving mini 4Runner. It's very sporty for kind of like that small 5-passenger category, which is kind of unique. So I think it looks a little different than the other 5-passenger SUVs out there. Let's take a look a little closer. You can see that around the Toyota logo, we have some blue, kind of indicating that this is the hybrid model. And then we have LED headlights, which are available on all trim levels of the RAV4, which look great. A lot of nice contrasting between some different lines, some blacked out elements right here, the blacked out grille. Overall, I think the car looks very fresh. Let's take a look at the side profile. This is actually a pretty long SUV for the segment. So we have 18-inch rims on this one. We have roof rails, even like a little bit of like a faux running board, keyless entry, all-wheel drive also available on this model. And I'm loving these blacked out fenders around the wheel well to kind of give it some nice contrasting. And then we come into some wraparound tail lights that kind of bulge out. These tail lights kind of have a lot going on. I don't think they just kind of bulge out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They bulge, they're angular, you get it. We have our wiper blade here. Kind of wish it was tucked in underneath here, but it's definitely a very sloped windshield, very angular in the back as well. Okay, exterior, it's nice. Like I said, it's one of my favorite looking 5-passenger SUVs, but we have to get into the driver's seat. I want to show you the upgrades for 2023, and I want to talk about the car seat setup and just how functional this thing is for families. Okay, let's take a look at this door panel. They keep it very simple. This car is simple, but I feel like the actual materials, they don't feel very cheap. Like, I think the quality of the material feels good. A little bit of blue contrast stitching found on the door panel. You'll see that throughout the rest of the vehicle as well. And then we have a cup holder and a little bit of a side cubby. This is a Stanley's 30-ounce ice flow. Doesn't totally work, but it's not a bad side cubby for the size of the car. And if you look down here, I love what they did with the speakers. They just kind of added some more interesting elements to it. I love when a manufacturer takes a material and just stamps it or texturizes it. I think it's a nice kind of more cost-effective way to add some interest to the car. Okay, before I go to the other side though, just a couple of buttons down here. So we've got obviously like our headlights and our gas tank and things like that. But we also have a kind of an interesting view that you can click. If you click this button right here, it's actually going to pop up like a surround view of the vehicle, which is cool. And then we also have our heated seats and our power tailgate all found right here. Okay, let's start with the display. A completely digital dash, which looks awesome. Moves into a nice leather wrap steering wheel with all of our driver's assistance features right here, as well as our Bluetooth. And then when we get into the infotainment system, this is a 10.5-inch touchscreen display, wireless, wireless, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and a ton of other very user-friendly infotainment systems. I mean, I think, you know, they all kind of start to run together after a while. I'm going to be honest with you. I do think Toyota's is nice and responsive and colorful, and I like the looks of it. We have some vents right here. We have the world's biggest, truly the largest temperature and fan controls I've ever seen in my life. Heated seats, no ventilated seats on the XSE's trim, but we do have a wireless charger, auto hold. Our different driving modes can be found right here. Cup holders and a center console with 2 USB-Cs. Okay, so more kind of like fun things up here is they have this little ledge right here, which I love that. I love that for a place to put my cell phone. And then if you guys look on the seats, here's kind of some more of that blue contrast stitching that we were talking about. The seats are pretty comfortable. They're, you know, they're actually honestly pretty firm, which I kind of sometimes prefer a firmer seat. We also have the rear view camera, so I can have an unobstructed view of what's behind me. That is a must-have for having passengers back there. We also have a complete panoramic sunroof, which I absolutely just love. Okay, we're going to get to the second row, and I really want to take some time here to break down the car seat setup of this RAV4. When I'm looking at one of these 5-passenger SUVs, my first question is, can it do 3 across? And that unfortunately is a very difficult question to answer because every single family's car seat setup is basically different. What car seats do you have? What combinations of car seats do you have? How old are your kids? How much do they weigh? How tall are you? Like, the list goes on and on. So I just try to give the best information that I can based on the car seats that I have in my experience as a certified child passenger safety tech. The RAV4 is not one I would recommend for 3 across, and I could not fit 3 across with my combination of car seats. Tried multiple different combinations. I have slim car seats, and I was not able to have any success with it. So let's talk about the hardware. Lower anchors on the outboard seats, tether anchors across the bench, three tether anchors, 2 sets of lower anchors. The problem really comes in the middle seat being narrow and a little bit of seat belt overlap between the center seat and the passenger side seat. I was able to fit a car seat in the middle, which we can show you, and I was able to fit a car seat on the other side installed securely. So I have a Kleck Foomph on the behind the passenger and a Kleck Float in the middle. The problem came into existence when we started talking about this seat and we were trying to put an infant seat there. And I'm going to show you what we mean. So a little tip when it comes to 3 across is I normally default to a seatbelt installation on all of the seats because seatbelts can give you, for lack of better words, a little bit more wiggle room in how the installation works. That does not mean I'm sacrificing tightness on the seats. I just mean you can kind of inch it one way here and then tighten it versus when you use the latch attachment, you're set at the 11 inches apart. So I was able to install this UPPAbaby Mesa base seat here. And a lot of families think, okay, that's great. Like maybe they're trying to sell the dealership, that should work. The problem is the carriers are always wider than the bases, and I was not able to safely click this seat into place. So this didn't work. There are other car seat combinations that may work, but I'm telling you, I tried close to 4 of them, and I had no success with 3 across. I'm not going to say that nothing's going to work, but I'm saying anything is going to be difficult just because that middle seat is so narrow. I also think it's incredibly important to, when you think about planning your family, you really make sure you think about not just your current car seat setup, but your future car seat setup as well. So just because like maybe one combination is going to work, what about when someone goes forward facing? What about when someone goes to a booster seat? Can those combinations still continue to work? 3 across is difficult. This is not the car I'd recommend for it. So I said my piece with that. Let's take one of these car seats out and let me tell you some of the things I actually like about the second row. Okay, here I am in the second row of the RAV4, and here's a shot of my knee clearance. So I have this seat set for myself at about 6 feet tall, and I have some decent clearance. This actual bench of the RAV4 is a pretty nice wide bench, so I do like how well I sit back into the seat. I also have very good head clearance in this vehicle. And as far as amenities are concerned, that's why you're here. We've got a cup holder right here. Only a leather back pocket on that side. We have vents and then USB-Cs down here. No heated rear seats available on the XSE trim. Overall, it's a comfortable second row. As far as car seat clearance is concerned, this is the Kleck Foomph. This is this seat's set for myself. I don't have a ton of clearance, I'm going to be honest. It's not the biggest 5-passenger SUV from a clearance perspective. I feel like I have a lot more room in something compared to like the Hyundai Santa Fe. But if you're not as tall as me, if you don't like maybe need all of that space, I still think this is a really good option to be able to get 40 miles per gallon combined with the Toyota nameplate and the Toyota technology and safety and reliability. Like, I totally get the pros of this car. Just wanted to point out kind of those things that fall a little short on the car seat setup. Okay, trunk space. You guys check this out. This is an UPPAbaby Vista single stroller. Fits like great just laid down. Like no manipulation of the seats, of the wheels, of the handlebars, or anything. It just fit very nice in there. All right, here's a shot of the trunk with nothing in it. We also have a nice little cargo cover here. This place to hide our valuables. But this is actually a really nice size trunk for the size of the car. I believe it's about 35 cubic feet, and I think it's one of the largest trunks in its class. To fold down the second row, there's no way to do it back here, but I could just reach up there pretty easily and do it. And then would have a lot more cargo space. This is, of course, removable. And then I like how nice and wide this tailgate comes up. Like I'm not even hitting my head. And then we have a power tailgate. So I'm impressed with the trunk. I like the trunk space. And I like the second row. I just wanted to point out those car seat little issues. Okay, so that's going to wrap up my tour of this 2023 Toyota RAV4. If you have a RAV4, let us know in the comments below what you love about this vehicle. And also make sure you subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and let us know what other kind of vehicle tours you want to see. See ya!